This is News from Poland coming to you from Radio Poland in Warsaw. It's Tuesday, March 31st. I'm Agnieszka Bielawska and I invite you to this broadcast from the English service, starting with the current affairs section. Coming up in News from Poland today, Poles designed a 3D printable ventilator that could help coronavirus patients.
The goal of this project to support people with the ventilators that can be made in any place in the world. The manual is very, very simple. It's just a couple of pictures.
International Olympic Committee sets a new date for Tokyo 2020 Games.
We have today set the dates for the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 to be celebrated in 21 for the Olympic Games from the 23rd of July to the 8th of August.
That and more coming up. First, though, a look at the headlines. Poland's COVID-19 death toll rises to 31. Poland brings in tighter rules in battle against coronavirus. And Polish government agency with plans to pour millions into research to help stop the global coronavirus pandemic. A total of 2,132 people have tested positive for the COVID-19 disease in Poland, with 31 deaths from the coronavirus so far, officials said on Tuesday morning. The number of new virus cases rose by 77 from the previous day, while the death toll remained unchanged, according to public health authorities. The first infection was confirmed by Polish authorities on March 4th, while the country's first coronavirus fatality was announced on March the 12th. I am convinced that by the end of this week we will have had a few thousand patients with confirmed coronavirus, said Health Minister Łukasz Szumowski, in whose opinion the COVID-19 epidemic in Poland is just getting started. We are not in the middle of an epidemic. This is not the beginning of the end. It is not even the end of the beginning. Currently, the number of patients who need our help has just started to increase, he said. The minister stated he was convinced that in the coming days a level of 5,000 daily tests for the presence of the virus will be achieved. The health minister stressed that at a time when the economy is exposed to have enormous losses due to the closure of many facilities, society should behave in the most healthy way, which means not going out. And Poland on Tuesday announced further restrictions as it battles a coronavirus epidemic, ordering hotels, beaches and parks to close and introducing stricter quarantine rules. Whether we will be able to return to semi-normality depends on whether we will obey the rules being introduced today. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki told a news conference, adding the new limits will last for at least 2 weeks. He also said that shops will introduce exclusive service hours for elderly people and minors will not be allowed to walk outside when not accompanied by adults. All beauty parlours are to be closed. The distance between people is to be no less than 2 meters. Shops are to allow only 3 customers at the same time, and all customers will have to wear protective gloves. Morawiecki also underlined that disinfectants should be made available in all operating workplaces. We have to remember to keep the distance between people, the hygiene, and it is vital that disinfectants are made available in all shops, offices, so that everyone has access to them. The government's actions announced on Tuesday add to measures it has taken earlier this month. Poland has already banned gatherings of more than 2 people, excluding families, and told citizens not to leave their homes except for essential activities. Anna Fotyga, Poland's former head of diplomacy and member of European Parliament, is among the 10-member group of experts which is to work out the reform of NATO. Fotyga is the only representative of Central and Eastern Europe in the group, set up by the alliance's head Jens Stoltenberg to strengthen the political dimension of the North Atlantic Alliance. The idea to form such a group of wise persons comes in the wake of discussions which followed on the changes of relations between Europe and the United States following last year's London NATO summit. The aim is to secure a rebalanced transatlantic alliance, underlined Jens Stoltenberg. The wise persons would report back in late 2021 when NATO is due to hold its next summit, setting the ground for reform. A Polish government agency has announced plans to pour millions into research to help stop the global coronavirus pandemic. The government-funded National Science Centre has encouraged Poland's research community to apply for special grants amid worldwide efforts to contain the viral outbreak. A total of 10 million Polish zloty, €2.2 million, is up for grabs for researchers who can expand knowledge on COVID-19 diagnostic procedures, treatment and prevention, and the psychological and social effects of the pandemic, the National Science Centre said. Poland's Labour, Family and Social Policy Ministry is preparing for a rise in unemployment. Iwona Michałek, Deputy Minister in the resort, has said that the ministry is monitoring data from Central Statistical Office and is also planning preventive steps to stop a sudden surge in unemployment. Concrete data on the job reductions in March and April will be known by the end of April, pointed Minister Michałek, and it is then that the ministry is to take decisions on possible hikes of unemployment benefits.